Thanks to the generous bestowals of the community, we have unlocked our first bonus game. This time, it's Paper Mario run by JCog, but this isn't your dad's Paper Mario speedrun. Oh no, this is a stop and swap run. And if you're wondering just how badly you can break a game in the name of speed, you want to have a look at this. Let's get after it.
All right. Well, we've got a little bit of an intro to start here, so I'm gonna.
You're muted. I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry about that. We got a little bit of an intro here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and count down, and then we'll get going. So 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So, despite what it may look like, this is actually a Paper Mario run. They did not get that wrong. So let me go ahead and introduce myself. I'm JCog.
I'm Icewind.
And I'm Rain.
And so this is a run. Okay, so this is Paper Mario Stop and Swap. And there's a lot that we've got to go over tonight so that you understand what's going on here. But basically, the way this works is we are going to do a credits warp in Paper Mario. But in order to do that, we can't quite do it with just Paper Mario alone. So instead, we need a little bit of help from Ocarina of Time. We are actually, by the end of this, we are going to use a glitch known as SRM in Ocarina of Time to put a piece of code on the expansion pack that we will then use a glitch with Paper Mario to execute. And in between, we're going to Banjo-Kazooie style stop and swap and like switch cartridges really quickly. So yeah.
Yeah, it sounds about as crazy as you think, and it makes about as much sense as you think it would. Not at all.
Yeah, and so the way this works, things start off like a normal Ocarina of Time run, pretty much. This is going to be, like, if you've seen one before, it's not going to be anything special, but then it ramps up to like 100, then it goes back down to 0, and then it ramps back up to 100 again, so... Okay, well, we're gonna have a lot to talk about here in a second, so this would probably be a good time for a donation or two if you've got a couple.
No problem, JCog. I have lots to choose from here. $20 from Anonymous that says, that Takatu run was awesome. Super excited for the Paper Mario Stop and Swap Run and Glitch Exhibition. Speaking of glitches, what a great Mario block for this marathon. $10 from Hexilexi. Hey JCog, super proud to see you live at GDQ. It's been a privilege and an honor to watch you grow as a speedrunner and to call myself your fan. Best of luck during your run, and remember, don't lose to Gooba King this time. Donation goes to Runner's Choice. Speaking of which, what is your Runner's Choice?
That is a good question. Do we have any any other bonus runs?
Next bonus run would be a Grand Theft Auto 3 coming up tomorrow.
Sure, can I put it towards that?
Absolutely.
Oh, nice games.
Let's go.
Oh, nice games.
I could probably do one more.
Okay. I have to do this one. $25 from Mama Moose. Says big hugs from Mama Moose. Thank you, Mama Moose.
Thank you, Mama Moose.
Shout out to Mama Moose.
Okay, so things are about to get started. So first thing that I need to do is actually, pretty normal Ocarina of Time things. I need to get the Kokiri sword, and then I need to collect some rupees so that I can buy a Deku Shield and Deku Nuts.
So one thing to note is that the rupees, so there are certain rupees in the Kokiri Forest that are permanent rupees. Some of them are like infinitely respawning. JCog needs to make sure that by the end he has to collect every single permanent rupee that only appears once. So he's gonna be doing that part of his rupee collection. It's really important that he gets all of them.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of like memory manipulation, and so stuff like that actually way more important than you might think. All right, so here is the Kokiri sword. Gonna go ahead and get that. And like, I just want to also point out, previous to this run, was not an Ocarina of Time speedrunner.
Yeah, if you go back and watch when we first started doing this, it looked like we had never played Ocarina of Time before.
It really did, though.
Okay, so while JCog finishes collecting the rupees, which she's going to be doing for a little bit, I'll go ahead and start explaining like what exactly is actually about to happen. So like JCog mentioned, our end goal, actually I don't know if he mentioned this exactly yet, but our end goal is actually to write a particular piece of code to the N64's expansion pack. And how does that happen? Well, it gets pretty complicated. So the first thing we need to do is actually talk about fairies and how they produce light. So within the data for every fairy is a reference to where its light source is stored, and that light source is also known as the light node. Light nodes in this game are all tied together in a chain, so each one has a reference to the one before it and the one after it. So when one is deleted, it takes those references and copies each to the light node on the opposite side. This way, the chain of light nodes is always preserved. But what if you could replace the reference the fairy has to its light node with something else? More specifically, what if you replaced it with a reference to our file name? So in that case, the game would assume that the file name contains the location of the surrounding light nodes, and when deleted, it would copy the contents of the second half of the file name to the location specified by the first half, and vice versa. Makes sense, I promise. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So if you've watched ZFG's All Dungeons run of this game from the last AGDQ, this next part is going to look pretty familiar. So what we're going to do is something called stale reference manipulation, or SRM. And what that is anytime Link picks up an object like a rock, the game will save a reference to wherever that data for the rock is located in memory. Then on every frame, the game copies Link's position and rotation data to the location specified by that reference so that it looks like Link is carrying the rock. Now, if we manage to delete the rock without getting rid of its reference to the data, and then replace that data with something else, we can start copying Link's position and angle data to the new thing and override it with pretty much anything we want. So now JCog is going to go back and forth between this invisible loading transition, and every time he does, the game will load things in one room and unload them in another. And if he does that enough times in a particular way, it will shuffle memory around in exactly the way we want to load a particular rock in the next room and place it in the memory we want. Even pulling out the sword will fill up memory, so carrying it across the transition there is exactly what we need. So now JCog is going to set up a camera glitch. This first one is called Return A, which is done by entering first person and shielding damage on the same frame. So now he's going to go all the way back to the crawl space with this camera glitch. And he's going to talk to the sign, and that's going to trigger another camera glitch called Walking While Talking. So by combining these two, he'll be able to hold a rock that's cold, which basically means that the game isn't updating it, but it hasn't been deleted, but the game considers it too unimportant to pay attention to. And so this is great because carrying something that's cold is exactly what we need to do to unload it without breaking the reference to it. So now with both camera glitches activated, JCog is going to walk up to this rock here that was positioned exactly where we wanted it in memory and strike it with his sword while picking it up. And that swings the camera way back to where the sign is like that. So he still has Walking While Talking, but he's disabled Return A. And now that the camera is far away from the rock, it gets cold even though Link is carrying it. And so now JCog is going to navigate blindly back to the loading transition from earlier. And when he walks through it, because it's cold, the game will actually delete the data for the rock Link was carrying. And in its place, we've manipulated a fairy to appear. This means Link copied over the fairy's reference to its light node. And then after JCog does this angle setup here, he'll drop what he's holding to lock the angle in, which the fairy will interpret as a reference to our file name. So he's doing a really specific angle setup here. He has to get a angle perfect angle here to make sure that it gets set up correctly.
Messed up a little bit there, but it's fine. Of all the things I could mess up,
yeah,
it's not a bad one.
Yeah, this setup is consistent, but he does have to do something called ESS turns, which if you're familiar with Ocarina of Time speedrunning, it just means holding the stick like barely outside the dead zone so Link will like turn but not move. It's kind of a weird thing with the game.
This is fine.
It's fine.
Marathon nerves is all.
Yeah, we get it.
1, 2, 5. Okay, that should be good.
Okay. So now that he walked back across the loading transition here, the game actually is going to crash, and that is because. Oh yeah, so here's the crash handler. So we can actually use this crash handler to verify that the code written was written in the right part of memory. So we actually JCog did it correctly. So I know it looks like a bunch of a mess, but this is enough for us to tell what's going on.
But this is good. Now is when we do the swap, and we'll explain things in a second. But here I go. Okay. And now the Ocarina of Time portion of the run is done. All right, so everybody like followed all of that, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm sure nobody missed anything.
Yeah, the quiz is happening at the end of the run, so hopefully everyone knew what's going on.
Yeah, this is on the exam. No, but if you did not understand everything that just happened, that is perfectly fine. That probably just means that, you know, you're normal.
And, you know, if I'm being completely honest here, I didn't really know what I was talking about either. No, I understand what I was talking about. I know enough, but yeah, there was a lot of information that I didn't know the specifics of it, but it is very, very in-depth, a lot of complicated stuff going on. But welcome to Paper Mario Speedrunning.
Yes, and so if you don't know exactly what happened, what you need to know, like the TLDR, is that we used Light Note SRM in Ocarina of Time to copy part of my file name that I had. You may have noticed there was no like file name incentive or anything, because I needed to copy part of that to the N64 expansion pack, and that is now sitting on my, still there on my expansion pack, assuming I did the swap correctly. And so now that's just sitting there waiting for us to use it.
Yeah, and so the reason this works to begin with is because the N64 expansion pass is, like 4 extra megabytes of memory?
Yeah, yep.
Of RAM.
Yep, it doubles the memory.
For the N64. And certain games like Donkey Kong 64, Majora's Mask use that expansion pack, but some games, like Paper Mario, never actually use that expansion pass. It doesn't need to. So because of that, the game never clears the memory in the expansion pass, so it can just sit there forever and is never used, which is pretty lucky for us. Another lucky thing is that when you first boot up Paper Mario, it actually doesn't clear the expansion pass either, which is something that Ocarina of Time does. So another really nice coincidence that just so happens to make this possible.
Yeah, that's kind of a running theme with this run. It's just a whole lot of happy coincidences that come together in our favor.
Yeah.
Minus the whole, you know, needing Ocarina of Time. Could have used one more coincidence, but it's fine. All right, so... okay, so this run is something, right? And so one of the first questions that I always hear whenever people, you know, start talking about... or, you know, I tell somebody about how this run works is like, how do people find this stuff, right? So I thought I actually, you know, while Paper Mario is getting started, there's kind of like a lengthy intro. I thought I would shout some people out that actually did make this possible. So first there was Morpheus, who found the initial crash that like led to all of this happening. I'm actually, so the incentive for my glitch exhibition got hit. So I'm actually going to be showing that off, or like pretty much going to be showing it off. So that was really sick. And then from there, Rain, like the Rain here with me.
Hi.
Mike and Seedborn all looked into things, Mike SLD and Seedborn all looked into things and found that what they saw was code actually being overwritten with data, which is like, you know, you hear that alarm bell start going off. Oh, ace. And then from there, I'm Glower. Actually, it was his idea. He realized that we could do the same glitch in the Goomba King room, which is what we will be doing today. Rain, again, was the one who managed to find the setup that let us execute code from the expansion pack. So, like, we can't execute code anywhere, and the expansion pack is, like, one of the only useful places that we can. So that was huge. Mr. Cheese. Mr. Cheese was like helpful like throughout the whole thing, just discovering helping us figure out a whole bunch of different things. But it was also his suggestion to use Ocarina of Time, excuse me, Banjo-Kazooie style to do all of this. So big shout outs to him for that, and for, you know, all the work that he's done in Ocarina of Time. He was the one who found Light Note SRM in the first place. What was that, Rain?
I would say Mr. Cheese has helped a lot with research in both games.
And also Prey, he's done a lot of research. He's been really helpful with just general ace things regarding Paper Mario.
Yeah, so like in a TAS situation, I guess, a tool-assisted speedrun, we actually can do this credit swap without Ocarina of Time, but it's like so absurdly precise. Like a human is never going to be able to do it, at least not in its current form. And then also, if you have seen this run before, if you've seen like the original time whenever I did it, we used to use a different method in Ocarina of Time. It was much more difficult before Light Node was found. So shoutouts to Save State. They were the one who came up with the route to make that work. And then from there, it was Glower and I were the ones who like tested things on console, made sure that everything would work. And then, and then I was the one who put in the work to like make things consistent because I wanted to be able to show it off in a marathon setting, which we are now doing. So that's awesome. And yeah, there were a lot of lots of people like helped with little things along the way. Hard to shout out like literally every person, but those were definitely the people who were, able to make this work. But yeah, so we still have a little bit more of an intro to go here. Were there any more donations that could be read?
I think I can find a few. I have to say, there's a lot of confusion I'm seeing in the comments to this. Well, let me explain here. $20 from a chat-related pun that says, wow, I know I haven't played Paper Mario for a while, but it looks a bit different from what I remember. $50 from Popo that says, this Paper Mario run makes perfect sense. Link was always my favorite Final Fantasy character. $25 from Odinson92. I thought that was supposed to be a Paper Mario, not Zelda. GDQ, are you okay?
We just had to turn it off and on again. It's fine.
Can I keep going?
Yeah, maybe like
one or two more.
Yeah. Okay, probably
sure.
like two.
$20 from Kieros. And I can't wait to see Ocarina of Time. Wait, is this Paper Mario? Come again? And $25 from Jonathan that says, Ocarina of Time sheet. Sorry, I couldn't think of a better paper pun.
Coming up soon is going to be actually another glitch. So this glitch actually is not related to Ace, the probably only one, is the only glitch that doesn't relate to Ace, but it does save time. It saves about a minute. It's called Junior Troopa Skip.
This is usually the first big glitch in a Paper Mario speedrun, but
so something interesting about loading zones in this game is that loading zones normally take 2 frames before Mario will actually like go into the next room. So that means that if you actually and you can't take a loading zone while you're in midair. So if Mario lands on a loading zone and then jumps the frame he lands, he's only on the ground for 1 frame, it'll actually store the loading zone, but it won't take Mario into the next room because you need to be on the ground for 2 frames. So because of that, Mario can actually jump and then while he's jumping, move in midair and store the loading zone and then kind of move in your room before you take the loading zone. And so because of that, JCog is going to do this glitch here that's going to let him skip the first boss fight by doing LZS and jumping all the way over to the bush on the far left side of the room. And then after he activates the bush, it'll give him the hammer, and then the loading zone will immediately take him, which skips the trigger that starts the boss fight. And so he's about to do it right here. Mind you, each of these jumps is frame perfect, so it's pretty hard.
Dang it. No first try.
Ooh. Yeah, this is a pretty hard trick. It does, yeah, but I'll get it. All right, nice.
That's
there you
not
go. So something else about that trick that makes it even harder is that when you jump, your joystick actually has to be in the neutral position. It cannot be like you can't be moving it at all, which is weird. I don't really know why that's the case. Maybe rain can. I don't know.
Probably like overrides the state or something.
Yeah, if you're holding the stick, it actually will force you to walk, and that makes a second frame happen.
That's interesting. Okay, yeah. I didn't actually know that, but yeah. So yeah, he has to be holding neutral and then jump and then hold forward on the stick on the same frame to get the maximum distance. So it's actually 2 frame perfect inputs. But yeah.
Yeah. Did you say that there were something in the comments? There were questions. Nice phrasing. Maybe not. All right. Well, either way, this is probably the last like decent bit of downtime before things get crazy again. So it could probably do one more set of donations.
Certainly. $25 from Andrew. It says, longtime watcher, first-time donator. Impressed by the fact that you can't contain your speedrunning to one game and must have your runs spill over into a second one at the same time. Good luck.
Thank you.
$50.
Appreciate it.
Yep, sorry.
Oh, good.
$50 from Anonymous that says, I'll have to read my French here, papier macherio. And $50 from Jada Ghoul. I'm so excited to see JCog at GDQ with possibly the finest OOT Ocarina of Time speedrunning ever done on GDQ stage during a Paper Mario run. Good luck on the run, and let's hope the game only crashes when you want it to.
Actually, so I would like to add one more thing. I don't think we mentioned it during this run, but it's something JCog actually mentioned. Yo, nice reverse swag hammer. Love to see it.
It's actually faster.
Is it really? I didn't know that.
Because I have to go back after the fight.
Oh, right.
So.
So something that we didn't mention here, but JCog actually mentioned in his interview a few hours ago, but the reason that we use Ocarina of Time is honestly just because, one, it's doable, and two, it's the easiest. I know it looked really complicated, but with the setup we had, it's actually pretty consistent. This theoretically, like the whole setting up RAM correctly, theoretically could actually be done with a decent number of games. Any N64 game that has Ace could theoretically pull this off. So some other examples are Majora's Mask, Pokemon Stadium 1, I think. It's just, the reason we use Ocarina of Time is just because it has so much research done into it. It's the fastest, and the setup is actually fairly simple relative to some other Ace setups. So
yeah. Oh my God. The old setup that we had to do was insane. Like if you've seen back whenever Ace was first being found and discovered in and researched in Ocarina of Time, they had to do like a slingshot route where you have to hold like the analog stick at one specific value for part of it, and like be doing pause buffering and all that. We had to do that. It was for someone who hadn't run OOT, it was a lot.
It was brutal. Like, yeah.
Did manage to get it though. Yeah, actually, there's been a lot of work in general that's gone into like making this shorter and more consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Like at first, it was kind of just let's hope this works.
Yeah, at first so theoretically, what we thought was the actual credits work part was actually a 15 frame window, because theoretically that's how it was supposed to work. And then people were trying it, JCog, I'mGlower, and myself were like trying it, and a couple of us were like struggling really hard. It's like, this is ridiculous. How are we not hitting this 15 frame window? It shouldn't be that hard. And then Rain and a couple other people did a little bit more research and found out, it's like, oh, actually you have like a 2 frame window. And it's like, oh, yeah, that makes it a little bit harder. So, but we have a consistent setup now. Now that we have more knowledge and stuff. So.
True. Okay, and then so we're about to get into it. Rain, did you want to explain like how this is all actually going to work?
Sure. Alright, so after JCog defeats the Goomba King, Ace is about to begin, but quickly before that, he's going to make a slight detour to save. And this is because the next glitch he will perform will be frame perfect, and missing it means you have to reset, because the story progress after shaking the bush is updated. This glitch that he will first be performing is a variation of Refight Goomba King, and this is activated by interacting with the bush and opening the partner or item menu a few frames later. If timed correctly, the switch that comes flying out of the bush will still have a battle hitbox attached to it, and that will begin a battle with the Goomba King again. This will allow JCog to have control of Mario after the battle ends much faster than normal, allowing for a glitch known as effect storage. Nice.
That's the easy part.
That was
honestly, that's the hardest part of the whole thing. It's a real talk.
But so after this battle, he will get effect storage, and effect storage is the main glitch and what actually allows Ace to occur. Paper Mario has what we call effects. Effects can be many different things, such as the dust from running and hammering, to trails behind shooting stars and shooting star summit. The game allows for a maximum of 96 effects. Trying to have a 97th effect queued causes the game to infinitely loop to avoid memory corruption. Data that correlates to each effect is spawned in chunks of 64 bytes, and each effect creates a different number of chunks. Hammering the floor will create the most chunks of data per effect, so we'll be using that to quickly create the most data per effect. So now, JCog will spin in place, and then hammer 75 times in a row, and then run briefly to create one dust effect. This will create the perfect amount of data to barely corrupt a function related to effects. Alright, so now...
To walk here, so no for no dust.
Yeah, he's gonna walk. If you run, it will break the setup, so he has to walk. And he's going to walk up, and he's gonna walk down. And that will turn off an animation flag that would normally cause a crashing instruction. And now, we wait. And we are going to wait because there's a timer in memory that we can run as code. This timer will tick up while Mario is not moving and is reset to 0 if Mario moves or if Mario lands from a jump. To get the instruction needed for Ace, JCog will need to wait exactly 69 seconds.
Not a joke, by the way. Legit.
Yeah,
69
legit 69 seconds. This will produce a jump instruction that will jump execution to the expansion pack. Earlier, when JCog was playing Ocarina of Time, he placed a piece of code in the expansion pack that would jump execution to Paper Mario's file names. Therefore, JCog will need a very specific set of file names for Paper Mario that correspond to code. With the file names, we can run code to change Mario's room value and then save before the game crashes. Because when you do this Ace, the game is like basically gonna crash. There's not really a good way to get around it. So now JCog's just waiting.
Yep, got about 17 seconds left. And so time might be coming up, assuming I do it right. I'll know a couple seconds before, so I'll let you know. But I'm going to release all these effects here in a second, and then, yeah, the game will crash, and hopefully credits work. I think that's good.
Looks good.
It was a really low jump, but hopefully this worked.
Hope that wasn't late. Oh,
Nice.
Here we go. And
Nice.
time.
Credits.
Let's go. Oh my God, that went so well.
That was actually amazing.
Very solid.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that's the end. Exactly how you played it at home, right?
That's how I remember it going, honestly. Like,
Yeah,
Same
for
here,
sure.
same here.
So yeah. Hope you all enjoyed that. I don't know. Is there anything else you guys wanted to say? I have a glitch exhibition coming up, right?
honestly, I feel like I don't even know what there is to say at this point. It's like, it's just amazing that this works. There's so many things that just went right for this to happen. Oh my God.
Yeah, the fact that this works is immensely lucky.
Yeah. Did we mention? I can't remember the swap that I did at the end there. So I would not recommend doing this at home. But the way that I actually swapped is I pulled the cartridge and then put the Ocarina of Time. I pulled OOT, then I put Paper Mario in, and then like quickly toggled the power. You're not supposed to do that. So don't try it at home unless, I don't know, I'm not your dad. Yeah, and so like in my testing, that actually gives you the biggest frame window of like, it was always at least 3 frames at 30 FPS for me. So for like the jump at the end there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's all about it, all I've got for the run. Are we good for the glitch exhibition? All right, well then I'm going to go ahead and get that started. I'm actually going to switch over. We recently released a practice ROM. If you've seen the Ocarina of Time practice ROM, this is very similar. So big shout outs to Glank, Fig, Krim, everyone who helped getting that set up. I have since taken over doing... Oh, doesn't want to turn on here. I have since taken over doing most of the dev work, and that we actually just released this like a little over a week ago. So I'm going to go ahead and load that up. And I have a couple of files prepared here to show off some fun things. All right, so first thing I'm going to show off. So we are in the volcano right now in Chapter 5. And this is called Baby Partners. So this room in general is like extremely glitch heavy. And so if you just kind of like walk down here to the spring and then jump into the save block like that, I can now move around with the save block up. Oh wait, that's not even. Okay, wait. I was getting ahead of myself. I wanted to show. You know what? We'll do this out of order. It's fine. It's fine. This glitch is great too.
This is a pretty good one.
I hope there are no like Colorado lovers here, because
the character, not the state,
go with
by
the
the
best
way.
for him.
Just wanna make that clear.
Yeah, so I can.
This Koopa character that you saw earlier, his name is Colorado, so.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. True. Probably important to know that. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of these enemies. Layer in a whole bunch of menus over top of each other. But this file is actually set up so that I bought Merle's Curse, and the next effect that I'm going to get is extra coins after winning the battle. But because I did all this, I'm gonna be able to move around during that cutscene. And so if I can manage to get down here and talk to Colorado.
Bro, you killed him. You just killed the man.
He dropped some loot. It's fine. All right, so that's a glitch. So next I'm going to do the glitch that I was going to do. I had the wrong partner out to do it though, so that was why I wasn't able to do it. So if I do the same thing, hop on the spring. If I miss that jump, by the way, that's a soft lock, so I would rather not do that. Let's go over here. I am going to open the partner menu, go invisible with bow, and then let's start with Bombette. So if I do that with Bombette, look, little baby Bombette. Now she's like moving around. Her explosion is still big though.
My favorite is when you have ultra rank Bombette and she just like, it's just a nuke that goes off.
Oh, you mean like, so this is the practice run. One of the things I can do, I can just go to partners. I can go to Bombette. Like, what's that look like with an ultra rank Bombette? Big explosion.
Big explosion. It's pretty funny.
All right, I'll show one more. I'll show one more baby partner.
I think Lackey might be my favorite.
Yeah, let's do Lackey. So do that. Right, boom. And then switch to Lackey. Yo, okay, good. Like, you're so tiny. Oh my god, this glitch is great.
I love this one.
Okay, so that is baby partners. And then I'm gonna go ahead and another thing I can do is I can just go ahead and load a different save slot for the sake of efficiency here. And so next I'm going to do a trick known as retrigger prologue. Hang on, I have to get some LZS jumps here. You want to explain how that works, Dice? Or like part of it anyway.
Which part, the LZS or retrigger prologue? So this is the same. So this is the same thing he did for Junior Trooper Skip earlier. Except now what he's gonna do is he's so in this game you can only hold 32 key items at any one point in time, and normally that is totally fine. But if you break the game, you can get to 32. And so if he picks up a 33rd key item, it'll actually put it in his normal item slot, which he only can hold 10 of. So if he has, oh my god, that's perfect RNG.
Very good luck.
So if he picks up an 11th item, that was so close. It'll actually treat the key item as if it's an 11th item in your slot. So he's trying to get this dolly to land on top of the save block. This is RNG. Which way it moves, how far it moves, how fast it moves. So he's trying to get it on top of the save block. You might be able to save this.
I may have. Let's not lose the dolly. Okay, so I'm just gonna load position. I wanted to get it legit, but sometimes the dolly says no.
Yeah, it is RNG. It's kind of silly. As you can see, this sucks.
Also, the distance is RNG.
Yeah, the distance is also RNG.
Oh my gosh, you went flying. Okay, so now we're going up.
So this is a variation on a trick called Cooper Super Jump.
See my Y coordinate there.
So when Mario uses Cooper, he actually he jumps up with the same momentum from the last time he left the ground, and so because he fell out of bounds last time, it actually shoots him really far up, and then that menu.
What? It didn't work. What?
That was really weird.
Did I not wait long enough? Oh, okay, I have to try again, I guess.
That sucks.
That's fine. I actually or I can just load the save file, actually.
Yeah.
All right, let's try that again. All right. Yeah, dang.
It's pretty rare that happens.
I've had that happen where it just doesn't clip sometimes, but
There's like a range of time that works. You can actually like wait too long or not long enough. Is that? Oh my god.
That's unfortunate.
What is the timer at, by the way?
I mean, you were well underestimated before, so I mean, unless they're
Sure,
trying
but
to...
I have 10 minutes, so I don't want to go over that.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I can? Okay. I think it went super well.
Yeah, the estimate was so high because if JCog had messed up any part of the Ocarina of Time thing at the end, he would have to, reset, and that would take a couple minutes. If he messed up the actual credits warp at the end, he would have had to, reset, and that would have been several minutes of, having to redo stuff. So, but we got it all first try, which is amazing.
Okay, yeah, that's plenty. Or should be.
This will go on the...
Oh my god. Dolly, cooperate.
Please. Dolly, please.
Fine, I still have the position saved. I wanted to get it legit, but Dolly does not want to cooperate. This is actually in a speed run, by the way. Okay.
So ideally, what's supposed to be
50
happening
more
here
seconds.
is because this menu is up, Mario actually is continuing to gain height, as JCog showed with the input or the position display. And then when he falls, he actually has so much speed that he'll just clip through the ground. And so
Hopefully. There we go.
So something this game does,
hey, Junior.
is all NPCs, instead of loading them, it just saves them at the far below the map in the center of the room. And so if you encounter Junior Troopa, this is the boss he skipped earlier. You can actually encounter him and start this boss fight. And
and I'm gonna tattle him here, see how much HP he has. I think probably Bombette will be able to take care of him, right?
Yeah, he only has 5 HP. This guy's not very strong. Like, only 1 damage. You're mad chilling. Just...
Yeah, Bombette should be good. What?
Yeah,
fire attacks? No? What about electric? We can kill him with that, right?
Yeah,
do a
because
Voltrum?
Voltrum makes him take damage. Yeah.
Oh, Bombette talking to us. Okay. Oh, he's charging up.
Dude, he's
okay.
going max power. You better
I
kill
think we're
him soon.
prepared, though. Oh.
Why did he have P up, P down or something?
I don't remember. I could try attacking him here. I like how the HP is still all the way over on the right. He's gonna attack me. Oh! My god. What?
I think Junior Troopa, what he really needs is a nap. I think it's past his bedtime.
I think he does.
Yeah.
I think he needs to go to sleep. He's glitching on his own. None of this.
It's bedtime. Sorry, Junior Troopa.
And it killed him.
Yay!
Yeah, this fight is really scripted, and they did not expect you to be able to do anything else.
There's actually something else.
Yeah, so this isn't the end. I'm moving on.
Right, you're gonna do one more thing. Oh my god.
I'm gonna do a couple more things.
Yeah.
I'm on top. What the?
That's a new one.
I've never seen that.
I've
I've never seen that. Oh my god.
Classic GDQ.
Wow, that's a new one.
All right, so I'm actually in the same state before as if I had hit the spring. So hopefully I can hit this. I got one shot at it. Okay, I got it.
Nice, you got it.
Okay, so now I am going to, let me make sure I remember the inputs. Okay, so we're going to move around with the partner menu now, and okay, I did that earlier. Okay, so I am going to drop Bombette, switch partners, do a spin, and I am now riding Sushi in the ground. So this is Sushi Glitch. You can just kind of swim around in the land. This is not right here, but this is actually in speedruns. There's another place you can get it. In Chapter 7, the snow area.
You can also do this in the Chapter 5 volcano room that he was just in earlier.
True,
That's
you can
also
do that.
a Pokken room.
All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of Sushi Glitch. We'll just encounter an enemy, switch partners to run away. And then this next area expects you to have... So encountering Junior Troopa actually put us back in Prologue, which is why that's called Retrigger Prologue. And so this is going to let me rewatch some cutscenes here. I switched to Goombaria there because he crashes, but I want to show it with Cooper. So he's not supposed to be the partner here.
Look at him go.
It's so good. I love this. All right, Dolly's gonna try and take Goombaria is gonna try and take the Dolly away. I'm not gonna give it to her.
Wow, you monster.
We'll see why in a second.
It's her doll, bro.
Well, unless. Cooper over here. Cooper gonna give me another power jump. Unfortunately, having more than one doesn't do anything. Like I'll show you in the pause menu here in just a second. I do have two, but like equipping one automatically equips the other because they have like the same internal ID. They revamped how badges work in the sequel, The 1,000-Year Door, so they were not expecting arbitrary numbers of extra badges or anything. All right, if I was to go in there, Cooper is now gone, unfortunately. But yeah, like I said in the pause menu, see I have two power jumps, but it doesn't really do anything. Also, I still have the dolly here.
Wow.
I just wanted to do that.
I forgot about that. I forgot you could do that. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's great. All right, so that's Retrigger Prologue and some of the stuff you can do with it. All right, and then I have, I think, one more glitch that I want to show off. And this is the glitch that led to Stop and Swap and Ace and Paper Mario happening. So in this room, it's exclusive to the Japanese version. If I actually bring up the pause menu, actually, Rain, you were starting to explain some stuff, right? You wanted to explain how this worked?
Oh, like why this is Japanese only?
Yeah, yeah, something like that.
There's in the scripting language in this game, there are groups and things are assigned to certain groups so that they know when to pause. So everything will be given an ID, the same ID, and when you open the partner menu, it knows to pause all of those scripts. But they made a single byte mistake, and they accidentally set the star spawning to the wrong group. And so this allows the effects to just keep spawning even though the menu is pulled up. And so we can store a ton of effects. And this is like the same kind of thing as with Goombaki.
Yeah, this is the same exact thing. Same exact glitch. And because it's the same thing, if I let this hit more than 96, the game is going to... It's technically not a crash, but it's basically a crash. Yeah. But if I let go of this a little bit early...
the game will crash anyway.
We can release all of those at once. And we kind of just did we did arbitrary data execution. I don't know.
Yeah.
You probably ran some random instruction and just crashes. Well, actually, it hit 96 effects basically. There. So when the stars hit the ground, it creates more effects. So it probably crashed.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but that's the glitch that Morpheus came across that like led to all of this. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. That's the glitch exhibition. So thank you, GQ, for having me. I was just trying to think, is there anything else? I shouted out a lot of people. I'm super happy with how this went.
It went really
did you guys
well.
want to say anything?
No, I don't think I have anything additional to say. But yeah, good job on the run. It was really good.
Very, very solid.
Thank you. Oh, and thank you to everyone who donated to get that's an insane amount, and how quickly this run hit the incentive. Mm-hmm. So thank you to everybody who, allowed me to do this run with your donations. Yeah. That's really awesome.
Yeah, first time this run has been done at a marathon. We didn't discover this. We discovered this for the first time like a couple months ago. So this is really recent, really new stuff. So the fact that we were able to make it consistent enough to run in a marathon is so cool. All the work that everyone's done into it or put into this. So yeah, shout out to all of them.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it for me. Thanks for having me.